broadcast where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's like a party. Jaime Jay is in the house. So, my bearded brother, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's been a while since we've chatted, but so cool to connect again.
No kidding. You know, I think I still see Stop Riding the Pine come up every once in a while in my feed, and
wow, that's crazy. It's been a while since we stopped doing that. That went on a run for a good 4.5 years or so, and then we started Culture Eat Strategy. So podcasting for about 6 years. So far.
Yeah. It's crazy. Time flies, man. Time flies. So for those that don't know you, kind of give a little backstory, because you've done some interesting things, and you're helping a lot of business owners with virtual assistants. I know, I love the tagline. What is it? Removing the
Stop the bottleneck in your business.
Stop the bottleneck in your business.
Yeah.
And for personal experience, that has been my bottleneck in the past. It's like I can do this. I don't need to hand it off.
Well, you know what? The bottleneck is usually you and me and whoever's kind of running the show. It's tough. You develop something, you build something out. It's your baby. It has to get done the way you're getting it done. And oh my gosh, who in the heck could ever do what I'm doing and give it, do it right and do it justice and all that kind of stuff. And it's just one of the challenges that a lot of us have, that fear of kind of letting go. And if this is indeed what you want to do, right? If you want to grow, there's a fear in starting something on your own. And there's a definite whole nother stage of fear in growing something when you start scaling it. And oh man, we come across that quite a bit. But yeah, for the people that don't know me, I've known you for several years now. We met podcasting,
podcast movement.
Yeah. 20, maybe.
Was it 14 or 15?
I think 15. Yeah. 15. Yeah. So yeah, we've been kind of hanging out a while, and I've been, I had a creative web agency for a while, but we've been for the last several years. We started in 2016. We focused really big on virtual assistants. So a good friend of mine, Mark Hafner, came up with a name. I wish I could have given myself the credit for the name, but he came up with with Bottleneck, and it just has such a good fit. And we've been growing ever since, and not looking back, and helping a bunch of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs out. And yeah,
how is Mark doing? I haven't heard him for a while.
He is awesome, man. He is so awesome. We have a big surprise coming out, thanks to him. And for those of you that don't know Mark Hafner, he's a good friend of ours, but he's an Emmy award-winning music producer.
Yeah.
So we've recently circled back around because he is everywhere right now. Nashville.
He needs to be a pirate.
Yeah, he is. he is a pirate.
Well, no, he needs to be on the show and become a pirate. So
he does. You should definitely have him on.
I'll have to reach out to him.
Special surprise coming out. Probably this week. It's probably going to come out. It's pretty cool.
Can you share it, or is it still a secret?
Oh man, it's this whole quarantine thing, as of the time of this happening right now, we're kind of locked down, but I think we're kind of approaching the tail end of it. I see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and we've had a lot of things to be creative about, right? So he's come in, and so Mark, being so musically talented, and our goofy team that I love, kindness is cool. One of our slogans is "Lead with kindness." Everybody's just having a lot of fun because we kind of had to flip things around a little bit, and since business slowed a little, and I think for a lot of people it did.
Sure.
But it did affect us. Since it slowed, we really took advantage of the time to revamp our systems, our processes, and come up with a couple good marketing ideas. And that's one of them that Mark helped get involved in. And so, we're gonna be on the watch for a new little jingle coming your way.
And if you're not connected with Jaime Jay, connect with him. Put in LinkedIn, reach out and say Russ sent you because he's a
Oh,
pirate.
that'd be so cool.
Leave a message, So I know that, let's talk a little bit about this virtual world, because, I have been building out this. I started the Pirate Syndicate before this whole thing hit. And, the pirate broadcast was essentially the testing grounds to see if I can build the systems and the process to have virtual producers build shows out for other people.
Mm.
So, just like this, you received a message, you received the link to the show, you received the reminders, you signed up for it, all of these things are part of the process, and you probably recognize that. And it's pretty simple, straightforward process to be on the show today. And then the show, after the show, it's, turned into a podcast. I got a transcription, and that is populated to a post on my WordPress, and it goes out to Periscope, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn and Facebook. And so all of these things are being populated by our live stream. And so doing that for other people is kind of what the Pirate Syndicate is based on. So it's the same kind of thing, but it's dependent on virtual assistants. So we may need to be talking here in the future. So
yeah, definitely. You know what's really cool? What I love about this is you made the process so easy for me. A lot of people that try to do the process on their own, it is not that easy.
No.
But having a process or a system in place, that's the key for everything. There's certain criteria that have to be met in order for this to make it super easy for the user, me. You have to make it third grade simple. And you did that. It was very easy. The instructions were clear. I knew exactly where I had to be, exactly when I had to show up. And it was just a simple click of a button. Bam, there I was. There was no downloading anything. There was none of that stuff. And it was just very clear. And you set the expectations on really well. That shows me that you invested a lot of time in the back office, in the system, in the building up of this, and really planning it out, because it's not easy. It really isn't easy setting all this stuff up when you first go. There's a lot of research. You got to test. You got to do this. So it really, kudos to you for doing such a good job on the system part of it, because that's everything to me, is the systems, the processes, and within the processes, the workflows, literally the step-by-steps. And one of the things that we do here internally, and we also share with our external virtual assistants for our clients, is processing. So I may do something on a video, and I'll record that video step by step.
Yeah.
And go to one of the virtual assistants, and they'll actually watch the video and write out, when you say every time you click the mouse, because they're online, every time they click the mouse, that's a step, and they take a snapshot of the screen of what it looks like. And that does two things. It lets me understand and know that they've gone through, and, well, first of all, I'm not doing all the workflows now, which is nice. But it helps me to understand that they get it.
Yeah.
The second thing is, if I see that there's a problem or a challenge there in one of the steps, that maybe it was done incorrectly, or maybe they did something that I didn't think about, and they added something in there saying, hey, Jamie, you should do this. I'm like, oh, perfect. But if I see that there's a challenge or a problem in there, we can identify it right off the bat instead of waiting 2, 3, 4, 6 months down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great way. That's checks and balances. And it's like, okay, I know that there are times, it's like, it never happens to me, right? That I communicate something because it's so easy for me, because I've done it 1,000 times, to someone else. And, there's 5 steps that are missing because I just think them, but I don't communicate them. Right.
Yeah.
So in order to really accomplish that goal for a virtual assistant or somebody that you really need, because I call it document and delegate. If you can document it and delegate it, that's freedom to me.
Oh, do
that's
something
freedom.
if it's the last time you're ever going to do it. Document. It may take you 10, 15 minutes longer to actually do the video, but the time it saves you.
Well, I think it's really important for business owners to understand that it might feel painful the first time, but 100 times later, when you're not having to think about it, because somebody's managing it for you and doing it for you, and you can go on and doing more creative, productive work.
Oh my gosh. And think about this too. If you ever want to sell your business,
Mhm.
think about valuations.
You're not the link that has to
No, all the
be in
processes
place.
are there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Why that's why the franchise model or the licensing model works so well, because someone's taken the time to work out all those kinks and someone goes, "Oh, I want a plug and play business. Here we go. Let's do this."
Yeah. So what do you recommend for people that are at the tipping point where they know they need somebody because they can't do it all. It's like I've talked to so many businesses, freelancers, independent solopreneurs, that are just trying to do it all. And what you see in their eyes is kind of like fatigue and burnout. And as I look in the mirror and I've seen this before, I recognize it. So it's like, how do you talk to them, or how does that conversation take place, and what's it like to take somebody from being overwhelmed to being overwhelmed with joy?
Yeah, yeah. That's a great way of explaining it. I love that, overwhelmed with joy. And if you don't mind, I would love to use that again.
Yeah.
So
Here's your first, folks.
yeah, there's two things you have to look at to get started, and these are really 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 important. There's We kind of offer more of a premium level service. So most of the clients that we're working with have been in business for a minimum of 3 years or so. They're earning good money at this point, but everything's in chaos.
Yeah.
So it's important that you, number one, can afford to bring somebody else on. When I
Mhm.
first hired my first VA, I didn't know whether or not I could afford that VA, but I
Mm.
went out on a limb and I tried it. I was pretty sure I could, based on everything that was happening, but I was worried that maybe 6 months down the road I couldn't. At
Right.
the time I could, but I went ahead and I pulled the trigger and off to the races, and thank the Lord. That started my business. That started everything where we are today, and I'm so thankful I did it. The second thing you need to look at is, do you have any systems or processes in place? Have you written down anything? Because as you said before, it's super hard for people to get into your inside of your brain and just
Yeah.
assume that they know. The third thing is, get ready, set your expectations, because when you hire somebody, it's going to be so when people hire somebody, there's a thing thinking, okay, I'm going to hire this rock star. They're going to come in and fix everything. I'm not going to have any problems. It's exactly the opposite. No matter how
Mm.
talented this person is, when you hire somebody on board, now all of a sudden you have to explain to them every single thing that you do in your business. And it's actually a lot more work for you when you hire
Mhm.
somebody on. But this is that overwhelmed with joy, because
Yeah.
now you have someone on your team, you have that partner, you have that person that's there to support you and do everything that you need done. Now, it's really important that you have a job, roles, and responsibilities, and a delegation roadmap. Do we have enough time for me to go into those two things that take about 2 minutes?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that, because
Okay.
I think it's important and critical for a lot of people on the Pirate broadcast. I do want to give a shout out before we get into that. Vicky O'Neill, she's a rock star. She's here. Kenyatta, she knows what this feels like. Wendy, Arcot, David, Sherry, Nick, Roz, all of the individuals that are pirates in the pirate community. I just want to give a shout out to you. And we're talking to Jaime Jay, and he's talking about the delegation process in building your team. So I just want to, if you're not connected, go connect. Tell him Russ sent you. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Howdy, everybody. Thanks for tuning
So
in.
go into this, and let's cover this, because it's important for people to understand what this means.
Yeah. So this is definitely not a sexy topic, right? I'll just throw that out there right away.
Well, it
And
depends on where you are in your business.
yeah, but you know
'Cause
what?
this could be the hope that you're looking for, right?
Exactly. This for me though, I kind of geek out on this stuff. I'm amongst a select few that really enjoy process-driven tasks.
Uh-huh.
So I will let everybody know right now, I am not a good manager. Right? I am not a very detailed person. I really struggle with follow-up, and that's been proven to me because I've taken these Colby tests and DISC exams over and over again, hoping for a different outcome, and it's always been about the same. However, because I have a personal assistant that excels in the areas that I don't, we're able to move forward with a one huge, colossal, gigantic front and take on everything with confidence. And all of this started for 2 documents. And I highly encourage everybody to go through these 2 exercises before you ever consider hiring. Because if you're in a state of overwhelm, if you do not complete these 2 tasks, get ready, your world's about to completely disrupt, and then you're going to be yelling and cursing at me. And believe me, it's not my fault if you haven't taken the steps in order to hire efficiently.
If you don't do your homework, you're not going to pass the test.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, for me, this part of the process was like nails on a chalkboard. And it was a little bit challenging. Once I was done, it was like the clouds parted, the sea parted, the weight was lifted off the shoulder. I felt amazing because there's 2 documents, the delegation roadmap and the job role and responsibilities. Delegation roadmap, it's simple. 3 columns in a Google sheet or Excel sheet, whatever you want. The first one is task. You list down every single task you do on a repetitive nature. If you do it 3 times, list it down there. And then assign 2 values. One value is this something you must do? Is Russ supposed to do the live pirate broadcast? Yes. Does it give him energy? I think so. You seem happy, right? You enjoy doing this. This is definitely a task that you need to do. Now, what about after, post-production, show notes, anything like that? Is that something you must do? No, you don't have to do that. Does it give you energy? I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. For me, it does not. So that would be a task that I would identify as something I need to delegate. So you go through all of those tasks, and then all of the tasks that don't give you energy and that you can delegate to someone else who can do the job. And here's the key, 80% as good as you, because they're never going to be able to do everything as good as you when they first come on. There's that 20% learning they have to go through, but they could have some experience. Delegate all those and segment those onto a task list. Now you have the beginnings of a job role and responsibilities. Oftentimes this is referred to as a job description. And I can't stand that term because it's not just a job description. A job description is something that somebody fills out for a job and what it's all about, and then they stick it in a deep, dark drawer somewhere and it never gets used again. All of the documents that we prepare, that we spend time on, why do we spend time on them if we're not going to be using them as a tool in our business? So what we do is not a job description, it's a job roles and responsibilities. Yes, you're going to list out the tasks and all of that stuff, but then you're going to speed things up a little bit by taking everything in that task list and listing all of the things that you must have. These are the things you must delegate right away. And these are the things, separate lists, that wow, it'd be really nice if I could delegate this, but it doesn't have to be done right now.
Yeah.
And then you go on there, every single job role and job description starts off with your company name. The next thing is a company, what about? Who's the company for? If someone's going to work with you, they have to know what your company is about, right? The contact information, 3 to 5 sentences, not long. Then they need to know what the vision of the company is. What does a vision aspire to do? Then the mission. What are the daily objectives of that company? When you come on, what is a good day so that you feel successful? And the third thing is, and this is probably one of the most important, what are the core values? What is the belief system that's centered around that company, usually from that CEO, correct?
Right.
So you have all of this above the job description part of it, right? What we call responsibilities. So that way, every time you're beginning to use this document, you're reminded of the vision, the mission. Am I doing everything I can to achieve this mission? Am I doing everything I can now so that in the future we achieve our vision, right? Am I making decisions on all of the responsibilities? You list down the responsibilities, and in there's mission, vision, values. Are you adding all those? Now, this job roles and responsibilities can be used for 3 things. Number 1, interview. Right? You can use it for the interview, making sure everything's done. Number 2, and I'm talking really fast because I'm trying to save time here for you. Number 2, when you look at it, you can use it as a scoring mechanisms based on performance. So when you have your quarterly reviews, you can go through each responsibility there and rate it from 0 to 5 stars. How good did you do on this section? How good did you do on this section? And this is a really good thing for your quarterly reviews. And then the third thing you can use it for, guess what? Your training map. Why not? You're writing out all of their tasks. There's a perfect outline for your training. So
and I want to remind people also, Jamie, that occasionally there's something that takes place, like a new perspective comes in, and they observe how they might possibly improve a process that you've created. And so don't think about it as everything's going to be 80% of what you did. Think about it as potential opportunities to improve a process because somebody else is seeing it from a new perspective. So,
and I'm glad you put that down there, because that 20% in there, that's learning, that's building trust, that's building relationship, that's improving on process. That's the work that's going on. So when you hire somebody, you better have some time too, especially that first 2 weeks. It's hyper critical. Spend time with them daily.
Well, and I think the other side of it is that if you find that you have somebody that enjoys doing something that you just drag through every single day, they will get more efficient and more effective at it because they enjoy it.
They live there.
And then you can focus on what you enjoy, right?
Man, high five.
Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think of it from a different perspective. Think about all the stuff that I don't want to do. If I can document it and delegate it, it frees me up to do something that I want. I can do what I enjoy more.
That's that delegation roadmap. Does it give you or does it not?
Yeah. Does it bring me energy? Does it bring me joy?
Yeah,
does it make me happy?
I'm like,
if the answer is no,
do this again.
It's like, can I hire somebody to go to the dentist for me? It's like, can I find somebody to do things like that? Well, this has been fantastic. And so I know you have some announcements coming out this week, potentially with Mark, and I look forward to that. And so what else is going on in the world around you? And as we're being forced to kind of rethink some of the things that we're doing and observe and change and evolve and maybe learn some new skills, have you been learning any new skills that you want to share with anyone? Or?
Yeah. So what I've done is we're completely revamping our client onboarding. So we're updating it, if things change over time. So updating that where we understand that we're shortening all of the video tutorials, where our call to actions are super specific. We're making alternative endings for social media versus the onboarding template, in the back office area for our clients. Right. And the things that we continue to learn, it's just through experience. The feedback that we have with our team, we're learning more about the Philippines, and we're just becoming more and more in love with the Filipinos and their culture. And we've really done a good job of attracting a bunch of really kind people. It's really easy to identify that someone that, the round pegs not fitting in the square holes with us. Yeah. And that includes clients and virtual assistants. But it seems like, man, we've gathered this group of people together, clients and VAs both, that are just, Is
there a range of tasks that you look for in a business where you can make the biggest impact in terms of
we specialize in executive assistants. So we have executive assistants. So say you want somebody to manage your calendar. They can book appointments for you, schedule your travel when travel kicks back in. Yeah. Things like manage your email. I used to take about an hour a day on email, and most of the time it was throwing something into a trash can or something.
Yeah.
I spend about 5 minutes now. Can you imagine that? Maybe 10. maybe 10, but
On a busy day.
almost an hour a day I found back for myself. It's unbelievable. And then we also have the integrated services program, because a lot of people have that golden goose rule thinking one assistant can do everything, the video editing, the writing, the this, the that. You can't. You just can't find somebody like that. But find somebody that's going to personally assist you to make your life better, and then say, oh, by the way, I need you to design this flyer for me, or this nice little thing that I'm going to put out on social media. Well, they take that, task it to my internal team, so you as the client don't ever have to worry about that. It gets done, sent back to your dedicated personal assistant, and then they'll present it to you after they do quality control, making sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, things like that. And that allows them to be able to have a wider array of tasks that they can complete on your behalf without actually being talented in that specific niche.
So that's a beautiful thing to mention, because having almost like a traffic, somebody managing traffic is like, okay, visual tasks go over here, verbal tasks go over here, written tasks go over here. And that way one assistant can really manage a lot broader subject matter, and a lot of information can go past that whole process. I like that.
We do a heavy duty vetting process. All of our VAs are college graduates. 100% of the universities are taught in English. So we really work hard on trying to find the right VA for the good match. So yeah, there's a lot of work that goes in advance, but all in all, it's to make everything, everybody do better, enjoy their work, and just have a blast and grow their companies.
Well, high tide raises all boats, right?
Yes, it sure does.
So Jaime, thank you so much for being here today. I know, it's been a long time coming, and I just, this is a platform that I really enjoy because I get to hang out with interesting people and like yourself, it's like have conversations that are just like helping everybody else around us. This conversation, you don't know where it's going to go or where it's going to land. And the nature of digital media is that it's here forever now, and it's going to be, out there for a while. It's on YouTube. And if people can understand that they have help, you have help, and someone like Jaime can guide you through this process, mentor you through the process of documenting what you need to be doing in order to get the most out of this engagement. And then that way, it's just a simple process. So Bottleneck Virtual Assistants.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually doing a really big in-depth article on the job roles and responsibilities. That'll be out on Friday. And so that might help. As of the time of this recording, it'll be out. But that'll probably help people out. And you can just find it by going to the bottleneck.online/blog and see it there. And everything we talked about today, I'm putting in there.
Fantastic. Well, you'll receive, before the end of the day, you'll receive the transcription and the podcast and all of the stuff, all of the things. So
what can I do for you, Russ? It's amazing.
Hey, I just spread the word. I'm building the pirate community. I'm sharing the kindness. The whole mission of kindness is cool, and smiles are free. And the Pirate Syndicate, my goal is to help 100 organizations or business owners create their podcast and their broadcast this year. So that's my goal.
Pirate voice right now or something.
Yeah.
Be kind to one another.
Exactly.
Smiles are free for everybody.
Smiles are free. Kindness is cool. Or else.
I'm a goofball.
All right. Thank you so much, Jaime. I look forward to our next conversation, and you enjoy the day, man.
Thank you so much. You too.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.